That is the shop cat. That's not allowed in the garage. What are you doing here? You know you're not allowed here. Hi, I'm Pat and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do some paint correction and ceramic coating on the wheels of the BMW i8. Ceramic coating on the BMW i8 wheels is not a new idea. There's a link in the description below to Heidi and Franny's channel where they did this same work, and I'm giving it a try myself. So what we had done, we had worked on a wheel yesterday just to test the process out, and this is what it looks like now. There's literally no scratches, no mars, no nothing. But we need to get working on these wheels that we haven't done any work on, and if you can tell, they are scratched pretty bad. Now, this is from normal use. This is normally just from washing, drying, from just driving around. And there are a few scratches not only here in the face, but also inside the barrel. So these are the tools that we're going to use in order to complete the job. I have a 6-inch random orbital Griot's garage buffer with a 3-inch backing plate. I have the Meguiar's MT300 buffer with a 3-inch backing plate. I have the 3-inch orange foam correcting pads and 3-inch black foam finishing pads that are also Griot's garage that work on both of these buffers without any issue. I have some Meguiar's 110 compound, 210 finishing polish, some microfiber applicators in order to get in the places where the buffer can't reach, some microfiber towels, and finally some Avalon King Armour Shield 9. So the process is going to be to start with the compound where we need it, of course, where we have the scratches on the wheels, of course. And I make about 5 passes or so. And for any extra deep scratches, I try to give a few more passes. And after that, it seems to take all the scratches out without any issue. But it leaves a haze behind, and that's what the polish is then for. So this is a more coarse pad, and this is a more fine pad. So start with this, finish with this. I particularly like these pads because they're thick. And that means that I can tilt the pad and not impact anything else on this wheel with the backing plate of the buffer, which is a problem. So these are thick. I really like these pads. So I would suggest getting a set of these pads, and there'll be a link in the description below to all the products that I'm going to use. Oh, and I almost forgot to let you know that we also use some quick detailer and some natural clay from Meguiar's as well. And these help prepare the wheels to make sure that the surface was nice and clean and nice and smooth. When we begin the compounding process, we don't have any issues at all. So highly recommended, link in the description. Now that I've gone ahead and completed both the compounding and the polishing, look how deep and dark this black looks inside the barrel. This is terrific. Next, I'm going to use Dr. Colorchip, and there's a link in the description below for this. This code 668 is jet black, and I'm going to go ahead and use this sponge applicator for touching up the paint. So if we take a look at the inside of the barrel, there are clearly some marks here that have been scratched, probably from me taking the wheel off and bumping some things as I tried to lift it off the vehicle. But if we dip the sponge applicator into the Dr. Colorchip paint after we've shaken it up, we can just go ahead and dab the paint onto these areas. Now these aren't very visible from outside the wheel, so what I'm trying to do here is just cover up any type of scratches and divots and things that I don't like, and I'm just going to let the paint dry as is. The next thing I decided to do was take the Dr. Colorchip Jet Black and cover over top of the wheel weights. When I had my wheels balanced, of course, they didn't use a black colored wheel weight, they just used a silver one. So I went ahead and just layered on some of this jet black paint around all the sides of the wheel weight, and it really did a great job at blacking them out. So this finishes all the wheels. As we can tell, we fixed all the paint chips on the inside, and I also decided to black out the visible part of the wheel weights. So now they're not as obvious. They were silver, now they're black, and hence off to Dr. Colorchip for the jet black paint code. It's the same jet black that's on here on the i8, and it's the same as the wheels. So all the wheels are looking very, very good at this point. It's soon time for me to take a break, get a rest, and then come back the next day. So at this point, these wheels are now ready for ceramic coat. Once this touch-up paint cures, then we'll be good to go. After doing the touch-up, I let these wheels sit for about 2 days, and that way I can let the paint cure before I start the ceramic coating process. So let's take a closer look at some of the products I'm going to use for this job. The first step is to remove any type of contaminants that may be on top of the paint. I picked up Wipeout by Chemical Guys, but you can also dilute some isopropyl alcohol in water. They say about 10% alcohol to 90% water is effective. And I'm going to use a microfiber towel to wipe that up. Then I'm going to use my Avalon King, and I'm going to put on gloves. And here's the Avalon King Shield 9, Armour Shield 9. This is the applicator pad. There's a sponge on one side. This side goes towards the wheel. And I used up all of my microfiber suede, so I picked some of these up online, and I'll have a link in the description for them as well. And of course a microfiber towel in order to take off the ceramic coating. So the process that I'm going to go through is to clean the wheel, clean all the wheels first, and I have a few more wheels over there, and then do the faces of the wheels with the ceramic coating, and then do the insides last. One thing I need to concern myself with when I'm starting this process is to make sure I get these little nooks and crannies. Of course, this isn't going to fit in there. So I'm going to have to use the microfiber suede by itself and just apply the ceramic coat on the areas that I can't reach with this. So that's going to be here on the spokes, and of course here in this divot of the wheel. In addition, I'm going to make sure that after I let this product sit on the wheel for about 2 minutes, because it's about 70 degrees here, then I'm going to go ahead and buff it off. So during this entire process, of course, I want to make sure that I keep enough ceramic coating on these pads in order to provide a thin film of the ceramic on the wheel. And then if this starts to harden up or crystallize at all, I need to stop using it and then get another one. So I have 10 of them here in this pack. I had 3 that came with the kit, but I used them on my truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with those. And if I need any more, I can just order some more online. Links in the description for all of these products. I've gone ahead and finished cleaning these wheels. I actually went over them twice with the Chemical Guys Wipeout. I first took a microfiber cloth and went over the faces and then the barrels. Then I took a second microfiber cloth and then coated them all again and wiped them down. That way I'm making sure that there's absolutely nothing stuck to the surface, and these are now prepared for the ceramic coat. Now the Avalon King Armour Shield 9 here, I used it on my truck, and there's a link in the description for that. I did not use the whole bottle, and the kit came with 3 of these microfiber suede applicators that were black, and I used them all. So I ordered these. There'll be a link in the description below if you're interested in these. The way this is supposed to work is you make sure that this is wrapped around the block with the squishy side, the sponge side, facing the surface that you want to coat with the ceramic. Then you'll take this after you shake it up and apply about 10 to 12 spots of ceramic liquid, and then slowly work your way in a direction and then go back the other way. You're really supposed to use crosshatch, but with a wheel that's going to be kind of difficult. The other thing that's going to be difficult is, of course, getting in these smaller spaces here. So what I plan to do is likely I will cover half of the wheel face and then use this microfiber pad in my hand and then go ahead and fill in the spaces that I couldn't get with this block. And then I let it sit for about 2 minutes and I can wipe it down. So that's going to be my process. I can use this up to 3 coats, and I believe you have to wait an hour or 2 in between coats. So I will likely go ahead and just do all 4 wheels twice. That way I ensure equal coverage. And of course, when I'm going ahead to apply this, with the microfiber in my hand and getting in these spots, I'm also going to try to make sure I get as far as I can next to the tire. So I'm going to go ahead and begin the process right now. What's really nice about this bottle is it comes with a flip top, and when you're done with it and you close the flip top, then that makes sure that everything in the container stays liquid. But if it runs outside the container, like when I uncapped this, there was a lot of crystallized ceramic coating here where the cap met the bottle. So I went ahead and cleaned that off, so that's not going to get in the way. So now I can go ahead and start the process. So I'm just going to use about 10 drops. They say 10 or 12, so that was about 12. And then I can go ahead and start the coating process on the wheel. Now that I've gotten all the flat surfaces, I'm going to go ahead and add some more ceramic to the microfiber pad and fill in the areas that the applicator sponge couldn't reach. So as I'm applying this, I'm trying to stay as flat as possible because I don't want this to build up and make a very sharp edge. And I can ceramic coat everything, including these aluminum stems. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I'm also going to make sure I get around the edge of the wheel here, where it hits the tire. And there are a few spots here that I see that I need to go over again. And it is important to recoat this if you believe that you have not covered everything. And of course I got this part of the wheel. I guess I should do one more, huh? One more area. And that would be here. As long as I remember what I've already done, then I can continue with my coating process on the other half of the wheel. we go. And we'll give that another minute, I say, and then we'll start to dry it. Now, it's very difficult to get in all the crevices and the creases, obviously, with this product on a wheel. And that's true of any ceramic product. Let me make sure I go around the edge here. So it is important, I believe, to go ahead and apply a second coat to this. And also your applicator is going to get a little dirty, so it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and change applicators. And I'm glad I have a pack of 10 here just to make sure that I cover the whole wheel with a clean applicator if I need to. Alright, so I gave this a couple minutes to dry. I'm going to use the microfiber towel that actually came with my kit. So I'm going to buff off what I just applied, making sure that I get it all off, because it's going to go ahead and bond with the surface, but this takes all of the very top of it off. So this is leaving a very, very nice glossy finish. I must say, I'm very impressed with how these wheels are turning out. The the black in the wheel is so deep. It is really nice. So the next step will be to complete the faces of the other 3 wheels, and then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and do the barrels. So I'll take care of the other 3 wheels off camera and see you for the barrels. Now that I have all the faces of the wheels complete, I'm now going to do the barrels of the wheels. I'm also going to do the inside of the spokes. The whole point of the ceramic coat is to make cleaning easier. So if I can keep down as much of the brake dust as possible on most of the wheel, then that'll be great over the long term. Now obviously I can continue to use my block on the flat surfaces, but then when I need to get inside some of the cracks, I'm going to have to use just the microfiber suede pad by itself. Since we've been using the microfiber suede pad, it's been working really well. It hasn't crystallized yet. If it did crystallize, we would want to go ahead and replace that, and that would get very hard when it starts to crystallize. So I can continue to use this suede pad, and I will probably go ahead and take care of all 4 of the insides of the wheels with the same pad before I go ahead and recoat the wheels again, but I'll use a new microfiber suede pad for that. So again, a few dots. And I have been working fast on the front or the face of the wheels, but I can now slow down because I have sort of a flatter area here on the inside of the wheels. And this sponge pad is very nice. The sponge on the very bottom allows me to go around the contours of the wheel and get in all the little cracks and crevices. So I'm going to go ahead and cross hatch back over the area that I just went over with the pad. Because I started in one direction, but they do recommend you cross hatch in order to get sufficient coverage. I'll go over it again. And then cross hatch again. Now this is how I did the vehicles, but like I said, the face of the wheel is a little bit more difficult because there's so many parts that protrude and you have to get in so many gaps that it was nearly impossible for me to do any type of cross hatch. So now that I've done one layer here on the very inside of the barrel, I can go ahead and continue with the rest. Okay, this wheel's complete. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the other 3 wheels, And then we'll come back and start to do the process all over again in order to make sure we have proper coverage. So here we have it, the big reveal. We're going with duals on the BMW i8. Now, just kidding. These were actually sitting, waiting to cure. I gave them 5 days, and they look fantastic. I don't have a scratch on these things, and the black is just so deep. It may be impossible to really see this on camera, but wow. Totally transformed these wheels when I did the ceramic coating. So let's flip them around and take a look at what the backside looks like. So inside the barrel, even better, because there's so much black to be seen here, and it's so shiny. The ceramic coating makes it nice and slick. So when I get brake dust on these, I'll be able to wash that brake dust away with ease. They look terrific. And what's even better, I blacked out those wheel weights inside here. So now the wheel weights don't even stick out like a sore thumb anymore. These look fantastic. So some final thoughts here. It's definitely worth the time and the effort to not only do ceramic coating on your car, but on your wheels. One Avalon King kit will cover the entire car and the wheels. Just one. So that's all you need. It's cheap. Link in the description below for Normal Guy Supercars discount. He'll save you a bunch of money when you use that discount code. So definitely use that. So thanks for watching. If you happen to like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that bell for notifications, as I'll be posting more BMW i8 content. Thanks for watching, and happy motoring.